So good closing, I would say. All the markets are off days high, but I think other than those short-term traders who got in late, who got in at higher levels when BJP was probably reaching close to 110, other than those few traders, none of the bulls will actually be complaining. In the morning, we talked about 10,375 levels, and we're closing above that. So it's good. It's definitely in bull's grip. If you look at the markets right now, Nifty Bank, and even mid-cap and small-cap space, if you look at, the trend remains more or less the same. Here is the small-cap index, which is up by 0.25%, just about 0.25%, and mid-cap is up by almost 1%, 133 points lead there. So probably focus was more on the large cap and the liquid mid-caps in today's trade. If you look at the tally here, M&M, a new record high today for M&M, all-time high, and there's also the top gainer on the Sensex, up 2.5%, followed by heavyweights like SBI, ICICI Bank, and in auto, other than M&M, you have Maruti also supporting the markets today. So these are two key sectors really to watch out for. Well, some of the biggies that didn't contribute much were HDFC Bank, probably also HUL, ONGC on the positive side though, while ITC lost almost 1%, and Yes Bank on its debut into the Sensex has lost around 1%. If you look at some of the key losers, that would also include Infosys, which again is a heavyweight, and HDFC. So in terms of contribution, maybe this would really be significant, Navneet.
Well, Pradeep, there were some stocks which were in focus in today's trading session, and let's just look at Archie's. This stock has been on a tear. In fact, in the last 5 trading sessions, we've seen almost 40% gains coming for this counter, and today it closed with gains of almost 16.5%, around those mark of 46.4. The footwear stocks have been in focus since Friday. The government did announce a package for the leather industry, and you had stocks like Sri Leather that was locked in upper circuit with gains of almost 20%. In the second half of the session, you saw stocks like Axis Cades surging in trade. As you can see, it was just in that last hour of trade where the maximum gains came about. So 14% higher, closing at levels of 191. Stock like Talbros Automotive from the auto and space also saw good momentum towards the end. So 12% higher on that counter. Your top F&O gainer for the day was Page Industries, which saw significant amount of long positions. It touched its fresh 52-week high. So 8% higher for Page Industries, and the PSU banking space was buzzing today. So you had stocks like Union Bank, which did pretty well, and also from the textile space, you had Raymond that saw some buying momentum coming back. So Raymond today closed almost at day's high, so that's a positive sign with gains of 5%. Finally, some new kids on the block. Shalby Limited, which listed last week, saw cuts of almost 8%. The stock closed with cuts of 8%, and today's listing, Future Supply Chain, not a great listing, but still closing with gains of almost 3%, Neeraj.
Well, and the synopsis really on the screen, it's just come off the broader end of the spectrum. The Nifty too, as I said, it doesn't quite show the extent of that gash, but from 1% higher to 0.5%. So a bit of a pullback coming in the last few minutes of trade. The contributors would be an interesting thing. I think even the volumes would be interesting. But firstly, the contributors, financials, Yes Bank and HDFC contributing to the downside. I thought Kotak Bank too was somewhere right there, but maybe not featuring in the top names, and being offset again by financials, the likes of ICICI Bank and SBI. So nothing to take away home. Infosys down a bit and amongst the top contributors, and the volume should come up on your screen. I think the F&O volumes would have picked up. Yes, fairly high F&O volumes. The cash market volumes too, interestingly. I think these would be the highest volumes that you normally clock on an average day, higher than those as well. So interesting trade pattern there. Let's just see if tomorrow is a different day. I just want to bring up the global markets once on the screen, followed by the Nifty heat map as well, just to show you whether the balance was there in the markets or no. But the global markets would be interesting just to see if the other markets seem to be participating. For now, it seems like the globe is a healthy place, so we may not have too many shocks coming in from the world markets in tomorrow's session. Let's wait and watch if this uptick continues and carries on. Friday, a similar move. Today, a similar move. Let's just see if there is more in store for markets. Definitely way away from highs, all-time highs. Let's see if we clock those in this week, or we have to wait for a week more.